I was working on something pretty fucking serious, you asshole. You want to see?
Better not be a picture of my balls.
Here we are. We're gonna fucking smash out a little bit of a recap for 271. We got the homie right here, Bane, special guest for this show. All right, he's got the glasses and everything. And then we got on the layover side over there, we got the normal, the Max, the New Zealand legend. What's up, guys? How's it going?
Was your adjective for Max normal?
That's so classic.
Did I say no? Well, I meant the normal, like the normal guy.
The normal, yeah, the staple of the channel. Yeah, the
Mid
mid guy, he's fine.
Is this how it's gonna be, guys? Derek Brunson versus Jared Cannonier. Let's hear it. Who wants to go first?
You want to take
I'm
this
gonna let the guest go first. I think I want to hear what Bane has to say.
I was very big on Blonde Brunson. I believed in Derek Brunson coming into this one heavy. Jared Cannonier presents a lot of problems, but I felt like Brunson had the tools. I really imagined the grappling would get it done over the power, but ultimately that's not what occurred. That first round looked great for Brunson. He knocks him down, controls him, almost sinks in that rear naked choke. If there was more time on the clock, I do believe that Blonde Brunson would extend that winning streak to 5 or 6. I'm not sure which one it was at. But he gassed. He gassed. It looked so weird. Coming into that second round, he was very slow, lethargic in the movement, and then gets clipped, goes down, and dies. I mean, that's a classic. It's a classic Cannonier finish, but it is a unique Brunson cardio issue. You know what I mean? Two things going on in that one. So I don't know. Disappointed. Happy for Cannonier to get a big statement like that, but I really wanted Blonde Brunson to continue his climb up the rankings. But that's my take. I wish Brunson got it done. Cannonier, though, congrats to you.
Cool. Max, nice. Hey, Bane, fucking came in here on short notice. 12 pounds overweight, and just...
Hold on a sec. Whoa!
That's what happens when we get a professional on, guys. Okay, I gotta match that energy now. Let's go. Okay, I understood why people were high on Blonde Brunson because he leaned so hard on the wrestling the last couple fights out, and he got some serious wins out of it. But I saw during the Till fight, especially, that even though he leans on that wrestling as his offense, and it's amazing, when he is in a stand-up match, and it doesn't matter against who, his defense is so strange. And the way that he throws punches chin first, everyone's making memes about it now. But we saw it even as far back as the Rob Whittaker Derek Brunson fight. He threw chin first. Is it because he gassed out? Maybe. Is it just a built-in defensive issue in his boxing? I don't know. But throwing chin first against a guy like Jared Cannonier is not a good shout. So I had the feeling he was going to get clipped if he couldn't get Jared down. Jared's shown some really good takedown defense. I think he was at like 70-something% the last 3 fights, takedown defense. And yeah, he managed to weather the storm early. Like you say, Derek got tired. Tired and chin forward doesn't make for good eating against Jared Cannonier. So hell of a knockout. It was fucking nasty. Those were some hellbows. And I hope Cannonier gets the next shot at 185. And I hope Derek isn't 1 fight away from retiring, like he says. Mm-hmm. But if he is, I hope he gets paid, gets a decent showing, and moves on to whatever he wants to do.
Tits. All right. Peep this. My first 3 fucking picks on the card went to absolute dog shit. And everyone started clowning me. And I was ready, dude. If my 4th in a row lost, I was going to tweet out, "You idiots, I circled the losers." But then here's what's dope. The homie upstairs has my back, you know? I started getting it. I had Jared Cannonier beating Brunson. A lot of people were high on Brunson because of the same things you guys were talking about. He's been leaning on his wrestling. However, the people he's been leaning on his wrestling against are not good grapplers. We've seen it in Shabazian. We saw it in Kevin Holland. Kevin Holland hurt him on the feet. Brunson always gets hurt on the feet, just like Max said there. I felt like Cannonier... I didn't think Brunson couldn't do it. But I think this whole idea that he was this new mythical fighter, this new game plan, No. He always resorted to trying to shoot on shit. When he shot chin first throwing haymakers, you know, windmill punches at people. It's always kind of been the same thing. I think people were super high on him because he looked so good against inadequate wrestlers. I mean, that was the entire, you know, narrative after the Kevin Holland fight was Kevin Holland needs to go work on his grappling. Like, we had already seen it happen, and he still got hurt on the feet. So I felt like Cannonier was strong enough. He's competed at heavyweight, he's competed at light heavyweight, and he is now looking like a legit middleweight. Not like Apollo Costa, who's one wine glass away from missing weight. Dude's making weight. He's jacked. He's strong as fuck, and I think that's why Derek went out there and, you know, blew his load. Cannonier is so strong. I mean, do you think, who's stronger, Cannonier or Kevin Holland or Shabazian?
Jared.
Like, not even close. Yeah, and if you're wrestling a stronger guy, even if you are having... I was surprised you hurt him on the feet, but there you go. I had Jared, and I thought it was because of that. I thought people got overinflated on his new approach to game, which he should have probably already been doing. And, yeah, but I didn't really expect to see a second-round gassed Brunson get hellbowed into the fucking 7th layer of Diablo, dude. It was, I mean, like, that first one got him. Brutal. But we'll go next to just what's next. Jared Cannonier, for me, it's a no-brainer for Izzy. That's next. I don't like his chances, but that's what Izzy's done to the division. What do you guys think?
Bane.
Yeah, I got to agree. I think Cannonier has locked up the title shot in that way because when you have that stage against a competitor who's on a 5-fight win streak and you put him out in such drastic fashion, that trumps a 25-minute jab fest from Sean Strickland. I think Sean is 1 win away, but Cannonier, that was his 1 win, right? So now he's right in the mix. I think he deserves the next shot. I don't think that he's going to do well against Izzy, but again, that remains to be seen. For Brunson, you know, Max said, I don't want this to be the second to last outing for him. I think he's still got some good performances. There might even be another chance at the title if things go his way next 2-3 fights. So next for him, I'd say maybe Strickland if he wants to remain competitive, maybe Costa if he wants to remain competitive, or maybe fight someone from, you know, rank 8 to 11 if you just want maybe a layup of a fight.
Give him a 24-year-old that can't wrestle. Sorry, Max, go ahead, sorry.
No, for sure. Yeah. I mean, Brunson was on the run of his career maybe since back in 2016 when he got stopped by Robert Whittaker. But yeah, Cannonier deserves that shot after a win like that, especially finishing him. The last guy to finish Derek Brunson was Israel Adesanya. Yeah. And that was the last time he lost as well. Just to give you an idea of what kind of a run he's been on.
Which just gets me amped up for our final topic.
No, for sure. And yeah, I don't want Derek Brunson to ride off into the sunset. I kind of want him to ride off into Bellator. I feel like he'd get paid there and get some easy wins there, to be honest with you.
Corey Anderson route. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Do the Corey Anderson thing. He's getting paid. But yeah, I'm interested in Cannonier versus Izzy just because that seems like the thing to do. But I don't see what Jared can bring to the table.
Crystals.
Let's talk about some heavyweights.
Let's talk about some heavyweights. Who wants to go first on that banger?
I'll lead it. You know, this one lived up to exactly what I anticipated. It's a slugfest. These guys came in to throw down, and the one thing that I figured, because I had some money on Ty, is Lewis doesn't like getting hit. This isn't a narrative that I see too often, but in the stoppage against JDS and the stoppage against Cyril Gahn, you can see he does not like being touched. Even that first round against Curtis Blades, 5 minutes of getting controlled on the feet by Blades. Blades was popping with the jab, keeping him at bay. Derek did not look comfortable in those striking exchanges, and that's entirely what we saw when Ty flipped the momentum. When he got against the cage, popped right back out and started throwing, you could see Derek wasn't a fan. I'm not saying he quit. He definitely lost. That's stupid for people to say Derek gave up, it was a dive. That is like the dumbest thing possible for you to say. But I bet on Ty's durability. Yeah.
If you fucking think people in MMA throw fights by taking a fucking head smash from anybody, especially at heavyweight, pull your head out of your ass. I can't stand that this always happens, man. And then people say, well, maybe he didn't throw it, but he gave up. Hey guy. Hey, guy. Hey, Go ahead and eat a elbow in the clinch after taking some shots from a 265-pound man. That's not giving up. That's going down. Okay, there's a huge... Giving up is what the Rickles did against MVP. Tell me I'm wrong. That's giving up. Even tapping the strikes isn't giving up. He literally just walked away and was like, nah, fuck this. I can't do this. Dude, Derek went face down. He didn't give up. He got fucking cracked and went down. I don't know what the fuck people think they're looking at. Like, it's the same thing with the Woodley and Paul fight.
Yeah.
In MMA especially, there are 1,000 ways you could throw a fight without having to take brain trauma. It's the most ridiculous thing. Lewis doesn't have the biggest heart, like a warrior heart in MMA. We'll say it. He'll say it. But to say, I can't believe that's even a thing. And some people are saying, no one's saying that. Yeah, they are, bitch. Look it up.
It's interesting because the narrative is lost on the strikes before that elbow lands. There was a big right hand that connected. There was a stiff jab that clearly wobbled Lewis. It's like he was not 100% before that elbow connected. He was already damaged goods.
Well, and then let's also talk about how do you fix a fucking fight and say, well, you're going to have to take about 10 full-blown shots from Derek Lewis on your knees. Just go ahead and get on your knees, turn towards the cage, and he's just going to fucking mollywop you like you're trying to get away.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're just going to have to take a few. Don't go unconscious and then get up and then you can knock him out. It's ridiculous. And I cannot believe I had Lewis. I had Lewis 100%. I thought that they'd get in that trade and there's no one in the UFC can take those shots. Apparently there is, and that motherfucker drinks beers out of a shoe. That's my take. We'll go on who he fights next. Max, what was your take on the fight?
Yeah, I mean, if you're listening to this and you think it's a possibility that it was a thrown fight, go and watch some thrown fights, because you can't make an MMA fight look real when it isn't. It's not possible. Back in Japan in the 90s, they tried. It just doesn't work. It looks like someone's trying to not take any damage as they fall down, and it's not a thrown fight.
Well, and you could just be like, okay, dude, I'm gonna shoot on a shit double. Yak my neck. Just go for a guillotine. I mean,
exactly.
you could make that look okay.
Yeah. There's also overselling. You know what I mean? I look at Tension and Mayweather. Again, that fight hasn't been proven fixed, but with Tension flinging himself around the ring against a very old,
I flat out don't think that was. I don't even care what it was. I don't think that was fake, dude. I think that was one of the best boxers of our generation fighting a regional kickboxer. Is what I think.
But at least in that, there's something strange.
Yes, it does look weird. But look at Heath Herring when he got punched by Brock.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't know what the fuck hit you, and Tension's never lost. He doesn't know what that feels like. I don't know. That's not the point. Sorry, I just had to say. I truly don't think that. I really don't think that one was a fix, man. I think
Rise and Assassins are gonna come to my house now.
Yeah, you're done. You're done, bud.
I got one quick other little point.
Oh God.
The only other time in recent years that the UFC a fight has been proven to be fixed, the guy changed his mind mid-fight and didn't do it. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Guys. Okay, Max.
In the UFC.
You were. Yeah. It was a Japanese fighter. I will look it up because you were making a point. I interrupted you. So, I'll look it up on my phone because I don't.
My main point is, I think a lot of people had Lewis, which is fair, because usually if he hits you, you go to sleep, and that's an equalizer. I had Tai because there's a thing that you cannot quantify in combat sports, and that thing is the strength of a Pacific Islander skull. You watch a Sugar Ray Sefo fight, you watch a Mark Hunt fight, you watch
their fight.
You watch whoever.
Well, Sefo and Hunt. If you've never seen that, it doesn't even make sense.
These guys eat shots that no one else can, and I honestly believe if it was anyone else in the heavyweight division taking that barrage against the cage for that brief moment, I don't think they get out. But Ty's got a big fucking head, and he's just stood up and threw back, and yeah, what a win. The dude's a star, and he needs to be in the conversation for a title shot now.
That brings up the question. I mean, what can Ty do against guys like Francis Ngannou Cyril Gane and Stipe Miocic. Those present very different battles and just vastly different game plans than what Ty's kind of gotten himself here with. These are the best matchups in my mind that Ty could have had to be a top 5 heavyweight in this moment. But the next step for him is just the next generation. Ty represents, in my opinion, one of the last, vintage heavyweights that comes, stands and bangs, and sits in the pocket. Cyril Gane, we know it's not like that. Stipe Miocic largely isn't like that. Francis Ngannou can be like that. Tom Aspinall, not like that. So I think that Ty, whatever is next for him, it's going to be a challenge, and I'd love to see him succeed, but the future, in my mind, I'm not too bullish on him going farther.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I mean, any step up from here is the biggest technical challenge he's ever had to face. That's for sure. I'd say that.
Okay, so that one I was talking about, I don't know why I can't find it. Maybe I'm searching the wrong words because I looked up UFC throne fight and it said UFC fighter Derek Lewis throws cup into crowd. That's not what I asked Google. That's not what I asked. But no, there was a UFC fight, and this is confirmed. Like Jason knows about this, bro. There was a Japanese MMA fight. The dude was supposed to lose. And in the middle of the fight, he changed his mind, and he got in trouble for this. I think he even did jail time. In the middle of the fight, he changed his mind and won.
Okay.
That's the plot of Daredevil, I think.
Something like that.
And then his dad dies or something.
Yeah, so think about that, though. Think about that. So people act like shit's fixed all the time. In the last few years, the only one that comes up is someone who literally changed their mind mid-fight and ended up still winning and still got in trouble. It just doesn't happen. But anyway, going back to actually what we were talking about, I'm with you guys. But I'm also, Max isn't wrong. It's like inquantifiable with Tai Tuivasa, dude. I mean, I've never seen anyone eat. He ate clean shots, shovel shots, bro. Like fucking from Lewis. Marge Simpson shots, bro. Like the shit from fucking down under, dog. And it actually makes me remember, they've both been knocked out. Ty less than Derek. Derek got knocked out by the weirdest hook kick I've ever seen from Sean Jordan. One of the weirdest KOs I've ever seen ever.
Long ass time ago.
JDS's last 2 wins in the UFC were a TKO of who?
Ty and Derek.
Ty and Derek. Yeah. So it's happened. I don't like Ty's chances, but I don't know if I can go against that motherfucker anymore, man. Like, I don't know. And I will root for him against probably... Well, you guys use root different down there, Max. I saw a smile.
Yes. If you say you'll root for Tai Tuivasa, that means you're going to bang him.
Mm-hmm. You're gonna...
Which is fine.
Yeah,
That's fine.
You didn't know that? Yeah, you're gonna Groot him, bro. You're gonna fucking stick your Groot all up in it. Yeah, rooting is banging down there. So when you say, I learned that quick I learned that quick. Like when my Twitter account started getting bigger, I'd be like, anyone else rooting for them? I'd be like, bro, that means you want to fuck them, right?
And you're like, yeah, I'm aware. I did. I stutter. I'm gonna root for them.
You can say you root for. I'm rooting for him. That's fine. Mm-hmm. But if you just the word root.
Well, then it sounds like you're fucking someone for him.
You're fucking someone on behalf of Tai Tuivasa. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah.
They paid me to do this. I'm rooting for you because of him.
Exactly.
So yeah, Ty jumps from 11th rank to 3rd, and that is, I'm not sure if that's ever happened in one fight. It's probably been close, but to make an 8 spot jump from like 15 to 7 is one thing. Fucking 11 to number 3, pretty wild. Shit got interesting. What do we do next with Tai Tuivasa? We agreed on this on our previously pre-recorded podcast. We fucked up. It's got to be, in my opinion, the winner of Aspinall and Volkov or Cyril Gane. And I think it should be Cyril Gane looking at the title picture right now if Ngannou is going to be out. But let's discuss it and see if we can change my mind.
Cyril Gane's best fight, easy fight right now is Tai Tuivasa. I'd say if he wants to hop back in to that championship spotlight, Tai is the one that you want to go after. But let's not forget John Jones is in the mix somewhere. I don't know if that guy's ever going to fight, but imagine the build-up. The star that the UFC's created in Tai Tuivasa taking on the veteran, the GOAT in John Jones. I mean, massive comeback, huge spotlight for Tai Tuivasa, biggest spotlight of his career, even bigger than this one. I think that, in terms of profitability, I don't know if Gane versus Tuivasa sells all that well. I don't know if Tuivasa versus Aspinall or Volkov necessarily sells, but Tuivasa versus John Jones, give me that shit all fucking day. I'll buy that pay-per-view.
I have to say something real quick, Max. I'm sorry. Bane, this is why we brought you on. I have not heard one motherfucker even kind of mention Gane or fucking Jones Tuivasa. I mean, I watched the shit out of it, but
it's
Max,
in my mind,
ahead.
it's a good comeback because John Jones has not tested or shown anything in the last several years. And so in terms of stylistic matchups, this is probably the best one for him in the top 5, right? If he wants to prove that he can hang, this is the best challenge. Tai Tuivasa, biggest name of his career. Biggest name of many people's careers.
And you could totally one-up his star value by John Jones wins against Tuivasa, and he goes, "Yo, Joe, let me use your shoe." And Joe goes, "For what?" And he goes, "Just give me your shoe." And then he grabs a beer and does a line out of the shoe.
Everyone in the arena's like,
Yeah, is that baby powder? That's not baby powder, baby. That's party powder, baby. All right, Max, sorry. Go ahead. Sorry to just leave you on that, but yeah.
No, it's fantastic. That's how you get John Jones instantly banned another 3 years. I reckon there's only so many matchups you can make, but all of them are pretty appealing to me, I think. We have to imagine Ngannou is out for a while, because that's what we know.
It's out. He's out, yeah.
So we've got Gane, we've got Miocic, we've got Jones, we've got Tai. And then slightly below that, I'd say we've got the winner of Volkov Aspinall. Dorcas is sort of hanging around there if you can get another one, I think. But
well, he's fighting Blades.
Those are the guys.
So they're both there too.
Blades. So those two, honestly, I mean, I don't know. Dorcas is booked. I don't remember against it. Anyway.
Dorcas is fighting Blades.
Oh, good. See, that's the fight.
Yeah. So that actually.
There you go.
Finish.
See, I think you can make Tai versus Jones. You can make Miocic versus Jones. You can make Miocic versus Gane. You can make Tai versus Miocic. I think any combination of those fights honestly intrigues me. And obviously, I'd say Tai is going to be on the back foot technically compared to any of those 3 men. Mm-hmm. But 2 of them are coming off of long layoffs. Gane's coming off his first ever loss. I just think this is like the most interesting time in heavyweight for a long time.
Yeah. For a long time?
I really have to say.
Well, and Tai's only 27, and he's getting better. Like, we've seen younger fighters have a... Look at Charles Oliveira.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still not saying, like, Tai has that same type of technique, but...
He's had that same type of comeback, though. 3-3, almost gets cut, and now here he is, number 3 in the world. In terms of comparisons, Oliveira is not a bad one. I love the inflection that you put on Oliveira. What was that? Charles Oliveira.
Oliveira. Hey, I'm from New Mexico, bro. He's fucking Hidalgo, bro. Come on, guy. Okay, if I got to pick, because you know what, Bane, you fucking crackhead, you kind of put that out in the universe. I'm like, Coke out of a shoe or beer out of a shoe. I'm not mad at it, but if you're asking me, ooh, you might have changed my fucking mind.
Because here's the thing with the Jones fight that I think is really intriguing. Any outcome is good for business. Tai knocking the fuck out of Jones, fantastic moment. Boom, Strikeforce NFT it. Jones submitting Tai or beating him decisively, great for Jones. Now he's back in the mix. GOAT's reinstated. I think that there are a myriad of great ways that fight can go. In my mind, there's not a myriad of great ways that several of those other combinations can go. Miocic wins a boring decision. Oh, great, we've got old-ass Miocic back in the mix on a win. Gane wins a boring decision like he did against Rosenstrike and another guy. Then it's like, great, Gane's, back, I guess. I just think that entertainment-wise, profitability for the UFC, best possible outcomes, that's what I would do.
I hate you because you actually changed my mind. On our pre-recorded one earlier, like, I was dead set on, like, Tai versus Gane, but now I'm thinking, because we did say, like, where does that leave Stipe? Like, I thought Jones would come back against Stipe or Gane. Those are the two. But what you could easily do now is Gane Stipe. That's like a better fight in my opinion. And then
Question is, does John take a TUIVASA fight?
If they promise him a title shot, and if he thinks he can get in there and get a win, I mean that's my biggest question too though. Like if he goes, no, I want to fight like for an interim title.
Yeah.
Well,
you could book it.
He's number
you
3
could
now.
just do it. He's number 3.
Who the fuck cares? You could.
Miocic's coming out of loss. TUIVASA stringing the W's together.
What the fuck, bro?
It's not a bad idea.
They've done worse. They've done worse. What the
How
fuck you talking?
exists. They've done
changed
worse.
my mind, you piece of shit. Okay.
If only my camera quality was better. That's.
Oh, you gonna flex on me or what, bro? Okay. Look. Hey, YOLO. We're about to fucking Hail Mary this. John Jones versus TUIVASA for an interim title.
International Fight Week. Book it.
Stipe and Gane, and then we'll figure the rest out. Fuck yeah. Let's move to main event because we got some shit to do. We have technically 4 minutes on what we said, so we are gonna pump this one out. But I'm very emotional about this one.
I'll rapid fire it. I'll keep it quick. I'll keep it concise.
Rapid fire, go baby.
Robert Whittaker, I overrated his grappling. He's got some fantastic wrestling credentials, but in recent years and recent fights, he hasn't really shown them. 2 for 13 or 3 for 13 in the Till fight, 2 for whatever against Jared Cannonier. He hasn't integrated mixed martial arts grappling as efficiently as I thought I remembered he did. And so assuming that the grappling was going to play a big role in Israel Adesanya, who was notoriously difficult to take down, that was my mistake. It turned into a typical Izzy fight, countering, standing, controlling the center, leg kicking, just neutralizing the opponent. I'm bummed that Bobby Knuckles doesn't get the title back, but it is hard to refute that Adesanya has his number all day long.
Oh, well, hey, and you and me were at the after party together. So we
were, yeah.
That whole story's for a different podcast.
Let's save that one for a different podcast.
Yeah. Max, you go.
Yeah, I mean, the fan reaction and the fan judging has been the thing that shocked me about this fight and I have to come in. There's an obvious natural bias for me for Israel Adesanya, but Robert Whittaker is one of my favorite fighters in the world, and I truly believe these are the 2 middleweights of the era. They're the 2 best middleweights possibly of all time, other than Anderson, of course. And shit, the amount of people who. The disparity in judging online is absolutely amazing to me. Because it isn't in the media. There isn't that disparity in the media. There wasn't that disparity on the night for the judges. It was either 49-46 or 48-47 Izzy, and that's how I saw it. I think it's less about Whittaker's inability to work the grappling for me, and more about how people underrate Izzy's cage walking and his get-ups. Because CKB drill that shit all day. They're like American Top Team. They just fucking cage grapple. And yeah, other than Jan, no one can keep him down.
And Jan didn't even have a good time doing it.
Exactly. Israel Adesanya is on another level, and I'm sick of people saying it was boring. I thought it was an amazing fight. I thought it was a chess match between 2 of the most intelligent fighters in the world. We just had fucking Ty versus Lewis. You got that, and then you get the other end of the scale.
Yeah, you got your sloppy fuck. Now have your romantic Valentine's Day fucking give it the pipe slow shit, dog. Like, get some strokes in.
Exactly. You had your quick bang. Now enjoy. And I was extremely happy with the fight. I thought it was an amazing fight. I don't think Rob won. I don't think Rob came close to winning, in my opinion. So his reaction did surprise me. But he did better than a lot of people ever have against Israel Adesanya. And
which can
Rob, in the 3rd fight, absolutely could win, if he gets a couple more. Because I truly think they will fight again. And that's it.
Okay. I'm going to...
What's next for each? What would you say, Max?
No, I haven't given my breakdown yet. And then we'll go next for each. Peep this. First of all,
you kicked me out of the Discord.
I wanted to stop matching and be like, let me fucking murk these guys. Okay, look, because I fired off a tweet about this earlier, but dude, it is not Israel's job to go out there and get in slugfest. It's just fucking not. okay? And then are we just gonna fucking oops and forget that he dropped him in the first round? Are you sure it wasn't Rob who adjusted his game plan, said, oh shit, we're headed down the same track, we're gonna fucking take this a little bit easier and not let that right hand go anymore? Dude, it's not Izzy's fucking fault. And also, on top of that, well, a little precursor. I said before the fight, I said it on Twitch, I said that I don't think Whittaker will use the ground game to try and take him down and hold him down and beat him down there. I said, but what you could absolutely game plan for are close striking rounds where you mix in a couple takedowns and win a round where there's no definite winner on the feet. I was watching that. I was like, dude, I fucking called it. I think he's literally doing that because you can't hold down Izzy. I don't know what it is about that motherfucker. You know, Gaslam had him in a dangerous position. He slapped on a triangle. This guy's MMA. The whole kickboxing narrative is gone. He is MMA. Now, for the people acting like he needs to go out there and just demolish somebody he already did. I love both fighters. But Izzy handed me personally a drink one time at an after party. He was very nice to me and Bane about. So, I'm happy either way. I'd prefer Izzy because that's my best friend. So the thing is, it is not his obligation to go out there and get crazy. And so what I said earlier is, you know what, dude? People don't look at that in the long run. His fights are not that boring. There was a drop in the first round. And I think Izzy won that fight, edged it. I think it was 3-2. Probably 3-2 sounds pretty fair to me. But to act like it's a chess match where at any point he could have done that again. It was Rob got a little bit more conservative and shooting on takedowns, and that makes Izzy start thinking about takedowns and being less aggressive himself. You know, he almost had him in a rear naked fucking choke at one point. Let's not act like Rob had no fucking offense going and they were both just standing there jacking off like they did with the Yoel fight. Again, with the Yoel fight, that's Yoel's fault. Who the fuck in the world at the same weight as Yoel wants to fucking throw? No. Izzy will... Watch. Someone go... I bet you he finishes Cannoneer. I'll tell you that right now. So this whole idea that he's boring now, and he's lame, and he's... Oh my god, he talks all this shit. Dude, GSP is considered... There's only like 3 correct answers when you talk about the GOAT. Well, I mean, it's objective, but you know what I mean. John Jones, who's my pick. I don't care about this. I don't give a fuck. John Jones is the best of all time, in my opinion. Never lost. The only fight he lost because he won too hard. GSP and Anderson Silva. Those are really the only 3. Now, when you look
forgot Chad Mendez.
Who fights at BKFC this week? Who fights at B... So my thing is, people that act like Izzy... Like, I love the argument, well, he talked a bunch of shit. Like, he talked shit about Jones not being able to finish people. You know, he didn't know yet. He wasn't at the top of the division when you have the entire fucking thing gunning for you. Oh, God forbid it be completely incomprehensible that when you get to the top of the top of the top division, you don't see blowouts in the Super Bowl 46-0. Dude, you're fighting the best at that point. I don't understand what people want, and he has already nuked Rob. He fucked him up. Of course Rob's going to make adjustments. He dropped him in the first round. And then Rob almost got a guillotine or not, rear naked on him. It's going to make you think. His most important priority is to win, and at the end of his career, people are not going to remember, well, yeah, he had 10 title defenses, but he lost that, that close decision. He should have lost that close. No one's going to think of that. People love and have fond memories of GSP. And when GSP was fighting, they were saying the same shit. So go out there and win your fucking fights, Izzy, and don't let anybody fucking tell you different. That's my fucking thing. And I would like to see a little bit more action, but that's not his obligation, man. You know what? If you want to see some action, Rob needs to go out there and try to win it. And I love Rob, but Rob needs to let that right hand go. And I guarantee you're going to see some action because he did in the first round. There you go.
Yeah, so who's next for both of them, Bane?
I think Adesanya, obviously Cannoneer, that's got to be the next one. Whittaker versus Paulo Costa, if Dana lets Costa fight at 185. It's a fun matchup. I think it's a fun matchup. Maybe it gives Rob a chance to engage in some of those firefights where he has to let both hands go, because we know Costa's going to come forward. We know he's going to pressure, throw a lot of volume, and that is going to put Robert in a position where he's got to use all the tools. I would hope that he doesn't just shoot for takedowns in that one, but in my mind, that's a fun fight that gives Costa an opportunity to hop back into the mix and Whittaker to fight someone he hasn't already faced.
Good shout. Yeah, obviously, Izzy needs to fight Cannoneer. That's the fight to me. But Rob, it's a confusing one for me because, like, logically, he could fight Vettori. But then you're sort of fighting in a #1 contendership match for two people who have literally just lost.
You're gonna say what I was.
We don't want that.
Go.
Yeah. We don't want that. So Sean Strickland is in the mix. That could be an interesting one. A Sean Strickland Robert Whittaker fight, or a Sean Strickland Marvin Vettori fight, because I think we all agree he's about, like, he could be there, but one more fight wouldn't do him any harm, especially because Cannoneer is going to be getting the next one. So yeah, those are kind of the fights I might make. Whittaker Strickland, and who else did I say?
Izzy Jared,
yeah.
Funny because we'd be having a different conversation if Strickland went out there and sparked Jack Hermanson and just, flatlined him. We'd be having a different conversation. And that, to me, sort of what you were saying, Mac, these guys, they have to go out there and win.
I was about to say, it's the same thing as Izzy. Dude, now you're fighting some of the best. You're not going to be fucking sparking them.
Yeah, for sure.
Keep going, Bates. Sorry, my bad.
I thought, you know what? Funny thing, I thought you were, when you were trying to figure out which UFC fighter was in a fix, I dead ass, bro, thought that you had a DS in your hand and was Googling on a DS. I was like, I saw you turn it and I was like, is that two screens? Folded over. I was like, what the fuck is that? Yeah.
Dude, I have the Galaxy. Hey, Max, you've never been here for this. On the fucking MMA on Point social meetings, whenever I pull it up, I'll be like this. Okay, wait, when do we want this up? Whatever, because this is an S Pen. And they go, what the fuck is that, dude? And I go, what? And they go, what, are you in Jurassic Park? And I go, what the fuck, Oven? Have you ever seen his headphones? I go, what the fuck? You flying a single engine plane, bitch? Like, what the fuck? Dude, it's a pen, okay? I can write on my phone.
Shit looks like a car phone, bro.
Yeah. No, so UFC 269, when me and Mac were sitting next to each other, he pulls that. I don't know if it was that phone specifically.
That's this bitch right here.
It's that one, yeah. The monster, and it's got the most incredible zoom I have ever seen. I doubted you, Mac, initially, and then this dude is like getting HD photos from a football field away of Sean O'Malley, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Dude, people legit sitting behind me will be like, what phone do you have?
I'm super excited for the forthcoming Samsung sponsorship for this podcast.
They better, because guess what I'm fucking buying? I just got the S21 Ultra, bro. I'm going to get that S22. Or I'm trying to decide, but that's besides the point. But what we were saying...
They can convince us to go over, Max. They can convince us to move from Apple.
Oh, no, you'll be convinced, dude. iPhone's a cult, and I've had both. So peep this. My pick is... Max, you said the exact same thing I was going to get into. I was going to say... I think the perfect fight to make... Vettori is kind of odd because he did just fight at light heavyweight. That's nothing against him. That's not his fault. And he was fighting someone coming off a title fight. That's not his fault. But he has now dropped 2 fights to Izzy. So... I think you do Rob Strickland. Shut the fuck up! Are you really gonna... Hey, we gonna... Don't start with me, dude. Don't fucking start. I'm trying to look...
He's leaving gratuity. He's leaving a tip at the restaurant. Is what that pose is.
I was working on something pretty fucking serious, you asshole. You want to see? Like, dude, this is real shit, bro.
Better not be a picture of my balls.
Dude, you know me too well. Okay, I just drew that. That's not what I was doing. I was not drawing dicks while we were talking. Okay, it's gotta be... Well, no, my vote is... Has Vettori fought Brunson?
No.
Vettori, Brunson, and Robert versus Strickland. I think that's easy right there, because you either give Strickland the stepping stone he needs to get an immediate title shot, or you send him packing back down to start rebuilding, and then Rob, what do you do from there? I'm not sure, but that would be my pick. That would be my pick. So Strickland, Whittaker, and then And I'm not drawing dicks. So
You know what? Talking about Khamzat Chimaev, right? Throwing him maybe potentially in the mix. Robert Whittaker versus Khamzat Chimaev, former champion versus rising star. UFC wants to
Jesus
fast track him
Christ.
to a title.
Here's
I
what
don't
I'm-
know.
here's
I
what
don't
I'm
want to
doing.
be crazy.
No,
Just wanna
this was on
potentially-
part of our fucking hour and 45-minute version of this shit. We're not getting into it, because let me tell you something. I am conducting that fucking hype train, so eat my shit. First of all, you didn't think of that. Second of all, let's see what he does. I think he smokes Burns. Let's see him smoke Burns. If he goes out there, he beats Kamaru Usman. I think this is something real we could absolutely be talking about. But he needs to focus at welterweight right now because he is at such a high place in that division. He needs to just fucking focus and deal with that. Now, he goes out there and he smokes people. He smokes Burns. Let's say he beats Usman. He doesn't have to not take one strike from him. But if he beats Usman, I'm on board. I'm on board, and that's what we're going to say. Last little thing, because we've gone 10 minutes over. We've actually done really well. We asked questions. Let's do just a couple. Max, you good? That's what I was scrolling for, you dicks.
You dicks.
Okay.
Go on then. Hit us.
So we
and these are
answered
going to be
that one.
rapid fire, yeah?
Rapid fire. Rapid fire.
It's just trivia?
No,
No.
these are questions from Twitter. Okay, I liked Bearded Stoner. He said, would the NFL be as popular if you had to pay $75 for some of the big games? I'm going to condense that question by saying the Super Bowl. Do you pay for the Super Bowl for a pay-per-view? I do. 100%, and I think it's the highest selling pay-per-view of all time. Every year.
Price point. Depends on the price point. I feel like a lot of football fans wouldn't really be okay shelling out.
75.
30.
That's the price point. 30, but you poverty-ass bitch. You're in college. Fuck your opinion. Okay, Max, your turn.
I'm not in America, so I have no opinion.
He doesn't even care about the Super Bowl. Bearded Stoner. A third of us don't even care about the Super Bowl.
Do you put like salad in it? What is it?
That is a restaurant, but shut the fuck up. God damn it. God damn it.
No, honestly, I agree with Mac. I think it really would be the biggest selling pay-per-view of all time. If you made it paid, 75, it seems like a little steep going from never having to pay for it to 75, but I think it would be millions of pay-per-views.
Oh, dude, people are dishing that out. Yeah, in my opinion. But yeah, it would be steep. People would be pissed.
We lost him. Bane's
How-
become a blur.
How did I get even blurrier?
Did I drink too much beer? Okay, I like this one from Elmo. Do you see Izzy breaking Anderson's record? You got to do it in like under 10 words.
No.
Ooh.
No.
Did
Yeah,
it in one.
What did happen to
one.
your shit?
See, the thing is, we've got an actor playing Bane. We don't want the camera quality to be too good because you'll be able to tell that it's not him.
Yeah. Okay, so Bane says no. Izzy does not beat Anderson's record.
I just don't think it
Max, you?
I think it's possible. I think we're gonna be in the same situation where the kind of people Anderson was fighting at the beginning of his career and the kind of people he was fighting at the end of his run were an entire different generation of fighters. So we don't even know who Izzy's gonna lose it to, in my opinion. I don't think he loses to anyone in the top 15, and I know that's a bold statement, but yeah, that was more than 10 words. But the
No.
answer is I think he could.
My answer is I agree with that. We can't predict the fucking future. Boom.
And
So possible. It's possible and maybe even likely. Yo, Bane, what's up? You're good. Like, it's good enough, dude. This is a fucking
enough.
free balling one. I'll find like one or two more. We're gonna do. We got 1 minute. 1 minute. Drop up. Can you fall in love with your cut?
What good deals can I find on Amazon? Me and the girls need to go to Sephora and get our nails touched up.
this is
I
my
gotta go
etch a
frame.
sketch. This is my etch a sketch.
Okay, I'm gonna pick Bratz. Bratz right here. Does MMA judging have to be fixed? If so, how would you fix it? Short answers. We're wrapping this up in 45 seconds. Go.
Bane.
I'm going to defer to what Jeff Molina said not too long ago. Add like 2 more judges and then go to open judging.
Word.
I like that. Yeah, open scoring I'm interested in, and also there needs to be more vetting. I mean, who was the dude? The dude who fucked
Sal
up.
D'Amato.
No, it was Rob Alexander, I think, on the weekend, and he literally had only ever judged 3 MMA events in his life. And
Really?
And he was the guy who gave it to Roxy in the Casey O'Neill fight.
It's blind. And what's so funny is like it's not that I was about to say something that could give me some flame. I don't feel it's all that difficult, right? You know the criteria, sure, but optics. You're watching the fight. You've got the screen in front of you. A lot of people at home, you know. You know
It's
what? I
not
just
fucking
remembered.
hard.
Verdict. Boom. Verdict. Integrate that more. Fan voting. I feel like Verdict is quite
Bots would take
accurate a lot
over.
of the time.
Bots would take over. Too susceptible to bots taking over.
You know what?
But I
That's
like
a really
the
good point.
idea. I like the idea of displaying the fan vote before the decision is read, before the judge's decision is read. Because if the majority of fans see it a certain way, and even maybe the media sitting cage side get to vote, and it doesn't count towards the fight, but
It's just something to put up. Yeah.
the broadcast sees it, and then we get to compare that to the judges, and then we can see, okay, clearly you're on another fucking planet. Everyone.
Yeah, you smoked more weed than I did during this fight.
Yeah.
Like what? Okay, here's how I fix it. When you hit the 3rd or 5th round and you go to decision, you put, what are those things you put over your pillow when you like to sleep on?
Pillowcases.
Women.
A pillowcase. That's right. You get some. Yeah, that's actually both accurate. You take one, you get 3 pillowcases, and you put them over each judge's head. You drag them out of the stadium. You cover the octagon in nacho cheese, and you give both fighters a pool cue and a trash can lid, and you say, "Figure it out." How about that? We're ending on that and on this. You guys want to say something? Say bye
God.
while I
have a feeling that Mac's about to do it. Okay. Thank you to Bane for showing up on this really short notice party. We love you, my friend, and it's we're definitely having you back. And look at that. Oh my god. Dude, do you have like a maid or something? Because your office must be just fucked.
Yeah, his name's Gokhan. He's a fat piece of shit dog.